In many ways, this is a fresh challenge for Israel Adesanya, despite the fact that it's a trilogy fight. Robert Whittaker, I'll ask you first. Are you rooting for anyone in particular for this main event?
Yeah, absolutely not. I hope they both hurt each other extremely bad. Wow. I hope they fight so hard and they hurt each other so bad that they never come back the same.
Okay, interesting.
Obviously, I'll go and beat Izzy. I've been training down there, but man, it seems like you beat every single middleweight, right? Every single middleweight. What is it?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, Izzy, I do believe I'm the best middleweight in the world. I just get countered by Izzy so hard. So hard. I just feel like he's my counter. You know, I just don't fight well against him.
Does Alex Pereira have the style, do you think, to break down his game?
Definitely. I think, so there are a couple of elements that I see in this fight which are going to lead to this fight, you know, being why I'm watching it so closely. So they've fought each other multiple times before, okay? But they've fought each other in bigger gloves. They were both landing strikes on each other. They were both tagging each other. How does the small gloves affect that? If they can land shots like they did in kickboxing in this fight coming up with the smaller gloves, because the smaller gloves make the biggest difference. The biggest difference. It impacts the entirety of the fight, how they engage, how reckless they are moving forward, all of that. Like how that changes. What is that going to do to the fight itself? And then next, who has evolved more? Yeah. Okay, who in their time away from each other since their last bout has evolved enough? So we're seeing a very rangy, tall defensive striker fight a very rangy, tall offensive striker.
Yeah, go on, Tyson.
It'd just be interesting to see, like, if you know, Israel gets more into that southpaw stance for the distance. Like, that's one thing. Just watching that, I think I'd like to see. Yeah. Just stay away from that range, but. I think just the striking is just so dangerous from Alex, but it's a scary fight.
Rob, we saw the kickboxing knockout just now. Israel actually dominated him for that entire first round. In fact, knocked Alex down in the second, and Alex managed to tag him and get the knockout in the third round. Can I ask, did you watch that kickboxing fight that they had a lot in preparation for both your fights against Israel?
No, none. Sorry. No, I didn't because kickboxing and MMA, they're very different sports, but people don't get that the shape of the octagon changes the fight entirely, right, as well as the threat of the small gloves. You can't fight like that with small gloves. It just can't happen, especially at the heavier weights and the way we strike.
You know how we spoke before about the grapplers end up kickboxing? Do you reckon it'll be the opposite for this? The strikers getting into the wrestling?
I would love to see it. I would love to see one of them start to utilise takedowns to see if they can mix it up. But the thing that people don't understand is that when you're so heavily focused on striking, your body isn't conditioned for those Habib-type fights where you just take your opponent down and hold them down for the entire time. So, and let's say Izzy takes down Pereira, can't hold him down, hop back up. The energy exchange in that scramble, who comes off second best. And one thing I know is that I don't want to be slower than my opponent, especially in a fight where both guys can reach each other the way they can.
And when wrestling's not that second nature, it just drains you, right, when you're
exactly
on that offensive.